Welcome to Something Crunchy. Tyler is homies with Blake. Blake is the older bro of Blair. Blair is married to Tyler, and is a slutty slut.
Welcome to Something Crunchy.
What the hell is crunchy?
Welcome to Something Crunchy.
All right, back in the studio with Tyler D, and you got a friend in B. Let's put him up.
I love it.
That's cute.
How are we feeling tonight?
8 out of 10 farmers would agree. I'm totally yoked for Turkey Day.
It is the Thanksgiving episode, more or less.
It's already Thanksgiving.
I hate to call it like a Thanksgiving episode, but it's what we're doing.
It's coming up pretty soon.
It's one of my least favorite holidays.
You don't like
Least
Thanksgiving?
favorite?
It's
You're
one
not
of my-
into it?
I mean, for a holiday that is all about like family, food, and football, you'd think it'd be like,
Your fave.
yeah.
Yeah, that has all the
I mean,
makings
but
for...
I give thanks year round. Family, you know.
Actually don't love
lot of stress.
Yeah.
Football.
the food.
Team, a lot of stress.
At least
And
you get
and-
to see the
and
Cowboys
food,
every year.
You know, the food. Like I'm just not a big like even turkey. I don't care for the turkey. I don't care for it.
Sounds like a Monday
I
to
don't
me.
know.
You think there needs to be a little bit more excitement to it?
Well, we've had a little bit of excitement on Thanksgiving. I'm not saying we've had.
We've always tried to overexcite.
It is a holiday with the family. Like, I mean, we've had some moments. I say we start with a couple classy Thanksgiving stories.
Oh,
I got one
That
right
is
off. I got
classy.
one right off the bat that comes to mind. Like the first thing when I think of Thanksgiving, I think of my little sister. The year when she was like 13 or 14 years old,
Yeah.
and like we were over at a family friend's house, and it was kind of a situation where the two moms were kind of competing to be the cool mom, and it turned into their barely teen daughters just getting hammered drunk on wine. And I don't mean a little drunk. I mean they got
Chugged that
blitzed
wine.
fast. And Blair spent the entire Thanksgiving dinner in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Like-
on the ground.
Everybody kind of
In
went
the
and
door.
took turns, like checking on her and sliding some turkey or
Somebody would
under
throw
the
a roll
door.
my way and just be like, Blair, you doing okay? And I'm just like throwing up. And they're just like, left a roll at the door, love you. And just like would pass by for seconds. And I'm just like,
Oh,
thanks
no.
for including me, guys.
It was bad. Like it was
Poor
it was
Blair.
like college party drunk, and she was like 13 or 14.
Yeah, definitely.
Family dinner, like
Rager.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I'm like,
That was a-
Happy Thanksgiving from the bathroom.
That's a good. If I don't think of that one, I think of one also about Blair when she was a much earlier age. We went to go visit our other side of the family for Thanksgiving. Had a huge meal. Sat down to go watch the epic
yeah.
Cowboys-Dolphins game. Actually, that was that year, and it was iced out. And Blair proceeds to jump from across the room on top of our dad, who's laying down, kind of recovering from his meal, and he lets out this fart. I mean, it shook the house.
For the ages.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a couple things fell off the wall, and he blamed it on our grandmother. She was so sweet, we called her Honey, and after it happened, Honey,
Jeez and Pete.
What?
what'd you do? so I mean, wouldn't call them epic Thanksgiving
Maybe just not my
stories. Pretty
finest
good.
moments.
But those are,
I don't think
those are pretty
Thanksgiving is my
good.
holiday. I think I can try to make it like more
no-
exciting and it
It's
just
no
like
one's
overboard.
holiday. Tyler,
I got a couple. When I was 4, I overdosed on black olives.
really?
Yeah.
OD'd on olives?
Totally overdosed.
Oh,
I
My-
get that. I OD'd on salt one time, like
Oh, yeah.
about that age.
I'll do
Like,
it.
so I could get that. I
everybody's
get
had
it.
their something that they just did way too much of that they could never look at it again.
Yeah, my mom was cooking the meal for the family, and for hours, you know, she was preparing, and I would just walk up to her and waddle up and put my hands out, and I'd tell her to load me up, and she'd put a black olive on each one of my fingers, and then that'd keep me quiet for 10 minutes. I'd walk
Here
away
you go,
and
get at it.
pop a black olive in,
Load
you
me
know, and then I'd come back, and apparently I ate about 2 cans throughout the night.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
after
that'll
dinner,
do
I
it.
was
So sick.
green on the couch
wow.
and spent the entire evening yuking in the bathroom. And I haven't eaten a black olive since.
No,
since
you cannot even look at. He'll get something like, get those
4+
black
years.
olives out of here.
Yep. Get 'em
Very
off my plate.
cosmopolitan.
Oh man.
And again, not my finest moment, but went out of town to visit some family up north for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And the night before, we went out to the bar and got a little saucy.
Mm-hmm.
I met a special little lady at the bar
Uh-huh.
and brought her back to the house.
There you go.
We were staying, I was staying in the portable trailer outside of
Classy.
the main house.
Classy move.
Brought her back to the old fifth wheel. And I thought, it's late at night. Nobody's up right now. So we got to rocking and rolling. And apparently the entire family was inside of the house looking out the window, just watching me shake this RV back and forth. And the next day, we're sitting
Real
there.
family Thanksgiving.
The next day, we're sitting there
is a
eating the
great
food. Football going on. My grandmother's sitting there, and every time somebody would score in the game, they'd say, "Hey, look, Tyler, somebody else just scored."
Oh, so you're just got to be
Called
the joke
me
of the
out.
holiday.
Called me out.
Wow.
Oh, well, definitely gonna call you out.
That is a fantastic
That's
story.
amazing.
Pretty good.
Cheers to,
Can we just cheers? to that?
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a little more excited about Thanksgiving
Not my
now.
finest moment.
Not even that.
I'm not even, like, that's a great story. That's my
Eat
kind
the
of
whole wheel
story.
of cheese.
Let's talk about the most horrifying Thanksgiving family drama stories. With help of BuzzFeed, we're going to go through a handful here.
I'm glad there's more than just.
It's just to let you know that either you're not the only one, like in our case, or it could always be worse.
Yeah.
Here's one. In the span of 4 hours, my mom went into labor, the turkey caught fire, the dishwasher flooded the entire kitchen, and the person making the stuffing didn't know you were supposed to cook the sausage before putting it in the stuffing. So we all ate raw meat.
Oh no.
My God.
That's a Thanksgiving.
That's usually how it goes. Like, 12 people
The family
bring
gets
something
together
to
and
eat.
everything's about.
Well,
Yeah.
there's 12 people bring a single dish to eat, and one person's like, forced to make something that they probably don't really know how to make that well.
Don't worry, guys. I got the stuffing. It's gonna be delicious.
It's hard to mess that up, right?
That's a good one. One year, 2 of my aunts had a heated argument over who wanted the last bit of turkey skin more. Long story short, one stabbed the other in the hand with a carving knife and had to leave to be treated at the hospital. They're cool now, though.
Oh my God. Stabbed with a carving knife
Over some
Family
skin.
drama.
Yeah.
over turkey skin?
Turkey skin.
I bet you
Vicious.
we're only hearing half of this story.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody.
Families get
Mhm.
savage over
someone else
Thanksgiving.
has something to say about
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
But that, as far as one side of stories go, that's a fantastic side.
Don't mess
great.
with my skin.
Nude photos were leaked before that happened.
It's possible. Here's one that really paints the whole picture, doesn't leave a lot for debate. One of my uncles got incredibly drunk and decided to make a speech. He proceeded to grade each of his brother's wives, listing all of their positive and negative attributes. He then turned to my stepmother, who's married to his twin brother, and told her he hated her taking his brother away. This started a huge brawl, which resulted in bloody noses, a broken arm, and my baby cousin pooping on the front lawn because he couldn't get inside to use the bathroom.
Boy.
That's a shit show.
That is amazing. No, that's crazy.
That makes me feel like
was gonna say
I
that-
come from like a well-rounded
Don't you feel
family.
a little better?
Yeah.
Feel a little better about things.
Feel great now. Thanks.
Our whole family got into a screaming fight about the validity of the Twilight series, which somehow brought up every issue we ever had with one another.
One thing brings up everything.
It ended with half of my family storming out in a mutual decision that we shouldn't spend too much time together.
Oh my God. Yeah, that probably actually happens. It's like you're just trying to have like a friendly conversation about something random and all of a sudden it's like, I knew you hated him.
I don't know much about Twilight other than Cullen, but I know that getting into a fight over a movie is
That's hilarious.
hilarious.
That's pretty good.
Clearly there's some other stuff going on.
Yeah.
My cousin thought her husband was cheating on her with my other cousin and started smelling his underwear in front of the whole family.
Oh, that'll make things awkward.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to make things real strange around there.
Right? That's weird. Let's keep it with cousins.
Weird.
Let's keep it cousin.
Keep it on this weird train.
My cousin had someone walk up to him a few days before Thanksgiving and claim to be his brother. He then brought New Brother, as we called him, and New Brother's fiancée to Thanksgiving unannounced. Apparently, New Brother's mom had kept her son a secret from my uncle for 25 years because she knew he had a tendency to not be the greatest dad. So New Brother had to be introduced and explained to 40 people at a Thanksgiving. That's one you'll never forget.
Yeah.
Hey.
Why would you pick that day? I mean, I guess it's good to just knock it all out at once, but
Because everybody's together and you're like, yeah, I'm just
It's
going to bust
probably
this out while
overwhelming.
everybody's together.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little too much.
Surprise.
right? This is nice. My grandma accused my aunt of stealing her wedding ring and threatened to call the police on her. We found out my grandma planted her wedding ring in her aunt's purse when she admitted to it in this past Thanksgiving.
Oh my goodness. Just the setup.
Oh my God. So savage.
Grandma. Grandma.
You said this whole thing.
We thought you were sweet this whole time and you're over here conniving?
Yeah, now your back's gonna hurt. You just pulled landscaping, dude.
Anybody else's fingers hurt?
One year, my aunt and my dad got in a fight after he ripped off his leg hair and put it on her pie
Oh
while she wasn't paying attention.
my gosh.
That is nasty.
Yeah, that
So
makes me a
bad.
little queasy.
That's it reminds me of She's All That.
Yeah.
Hoover it.
The pizza. Oh my God.
Like, I'm all for practical jokes, and like
That is
nothing pleases me more than fucking with
So
family,
gross.
my sister in particular. But
Yeah.
You didn't ever mess with my food like that, which I appreciate. Oh, well,
That
not,
you
but
know
I know
of.
I'm looking at him and he's like not giving me a face back of reassurance.
I don't know.
Did you mess with my food?
No, I would never mess with your food.
Okay.
No,
Thank you.
I
That's
never
what I
mess
was
with your
waiting for. I
food.
was like, you have, haven't you?
No, I
No.
never mess with your food. That's not
You
fun.
have
That's
other
not. That's
ways.
not funny. I do it to like. I'm more public shaming kind of.
There's a big difference. Thank you, Blake. I appreciate you
That's more my
thinking
style.
about me. That's way more your style.
My sister-in-law told my husband and I that if we just prayed hard enough, we would no longer be gay.
Oh my God. There's always
That's
those.
so something that would happen to
I
Thanksgiving.
mean, I wonder how many thousands of times that happens
Sad.
on Thanksgiving a year.
My dad and uncle got in a fist fight once because my cousin told me I had no friends. They were punching and tackling each other on the floor. I was like 10.
Like,
Like that. Wow, harsh words.
Yeah, for a 10-year-old?
Yeah.
Come on.
Jeez.
I came out as a lesbian, but I used the term gay, to which my grandma yelled, "Girls can't be gay," which started a
God.
10-minute argument between my grandma and grandpa before I could step in and say anything.
Wow.
Let you just realize that
Like, I'm trying to come out
Females can
here,
be gay.
and you guys are just going to argue about
that's what you want to focus
Yeah.
on. Okay, but I think you're
Schematics over
missing.
here.
Yeah, I think you're missing
If
the whole
what's,
picture.
If that's what's
here.
got you fired up, like,
All right.
have at it.
I'm gonna get some pie while y'all figure this out. Okay. I did.
That's good. About 6 years ago, my brother brought his girlfriend of 1 month to Thanksgiving. We had all sat down to eat, grandparents, young cousins, and 25 other people.
Oh, so many people.
And he announces that she is pregnant and that they're getting married.
Oh.
I have a very loud family, and you could have heard a pin drop. Then my cousin, who was 3 at the time, yells, "Ew, they had sex. That's gross." I thought my grandma was going to have a heart attack.
Oh my God.
I wonder how many of them were sitting there doing the math going, how could you even know that she's pregnant if you've only been together a
know.
month?
Yeah, it's
That's
not
not your baby.
Like normally,
There's a lot of questions.
there's
Lots of questions.
once upon a
Everyone
time, you
should.
used to save the math for whether or not they were like married or
Yeah.
before they were pregnant, and now
Now
it's like,
Whose kid is that?
yeah, did you know this guy before you were pregnant?
So wait, let me get this straight. You're 4 months pregnant. You guys have been together for 3 weeks, and it's your baby?
Congrats.
Congratulations.
You're gonna be a great father.
Mazel.
When I was 19, my stepdad's sister had Thanksgiving at her house. Before dinner, she started pounding beers and taking painkillers, and flipped out and threw the 26-pound turkey through the living room picture window. The police showed up, and no one got to eat. Best turkey day ever.
Oh, the drama.
And we end with this one. My grandma got shit-faced, threw up on my dad's shoes, and then passed out on my parents' bed. By far, the most memorable Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Gotta love it when grandma gets
loose.
just like a little schnitkered.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Hits
good
that
stuff.
that cooking brandy a couple too many times.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
See, now that gets me more excited.
I'm
about
excited for the
Thanksgiving.
day now.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back to let's start with some of like what Thanksgiving is all about. I want to talk about some Thanksgiving facts here.
Okay.
See what you know about the day in general.
Okay.
With the help of Best Life here. The day after Thanksgiving is the busiest day of the year for plumbers. Fun fact. Did you know?
Oh, gross.
Would you like to know more?
Yeah, still.
I'm actually
Black
not surprised to
Friday
hear that.
isn't just big business for retailers. Plumbers and drain cleaners get in on the action too. According to Roto-Rooter, the day after Thanksgiving is the busiest day of the year for those who keep water flowing and going. In related news, they also recommend not pouring your cooking oil down your drain.
Okay. So
Busy day.
Busy day.
cleaning up lots of shit.
The Butterball
And
Hotline
oil.
answers 100,000 turkey-related questions every year.
So many questions.
Would you like to know more?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What kind of questions are they asking?
Well, I don't have that, but Butterball, a popular turkey company, opens a turkey hotline each November and December to answer any turkey-related questions you may have.
Like how long you cook
Founded
it.
in 1981,
That's cool.
the Turkey Hotline went from receiving a modest 11,000 questions the first year to answering more than 100,000 questions across the U.S. and Canada every holiday season.
Man. It's just like cooking questions? Like,
You know, Blair,
Like-
I read
like
you, I
look
read
it
you
up.
everything I have. You know,
like look it up.
what you know
Right.
is what I know.
You're like, do you think
Like
we know
somebody
more
should
than
just-
Google? Why don't
Like
you
somebody's
just
going to
Google
sit
it?
there and answer like hundreds of thousands of calls to be like, yeah, put it in the oven,
4 hours.
turn it to here, and
Ma'am,
don't touch it for the
done.
next
You
like
gotta
half
thaw it
day.
out first. Yes, and take off the plastic. Yes.
You know, she's just
Yes.
like, why not be direct someone to a website where there's a video and this is how you cook our damn turkey.
There should be a Butterball YouTube channel by now. If
If you need
Oh,
help,
yeah.
we'll help you with a demonstration.
I wonder how
This-
many
this
people-
person doesn't have to answer so many questions.
I wonder how many people call that thing and it's just like, I can't do it. Send somebody over to do it for me right now.
Do you have like a geek squad for turkeys?
I
Just
spent
not getting it.
$34 on this thing. You need to come over here and help me cook it right now.
All right. Blazels.
Yeah.
How long did the first Thanksgiving last?
How long did it last?
How long did the first Thanksgiving dinner last?
I'm gonna say it was a long one.
It was a long one.
What, like 14 hours? I'm gonna say like everybody just stay there and have a feast
It was
for
pretty
like.
close. The first Thanksgiving lasted for 3 days.
Ooh, so yeah, it was definitely gonna be a long one.
The event commonly referred to as the first Thanksgiving was celebrated in October 1621. It was organized by Governor William Bradford of Plymouth, Massachusetts to celebrate the recent immigrants' first successful corn harvest in the New World. While the meal lacked much of what we know now as common Thanksgiving fare, the event did last a full 3 days.
What do y'all think? 3-day Thanksgiving this
Let's
year?
do it.
Hell no.
All family, all the
Like
time.
nothing but all that food that you love so much.
37.
Tyler, could you do it?
Yeah, yep. I'm going to get like 3 birds. We just kill one a day. 30 pounders each.
Tyler wants to do the whole process himself.
Well, that would be a way to really like experience Thanksgiving, and that would be the only way to do it. 3
That's
days.
part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe only make it like a one big meal with the turkey, but you have like 3 days to
You have to, like,
find one
To find it.
and to catch
Find,
it.
catch, make
and to-
all of
and to
your own
cook it.
food.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if there's turkeys in your area.
Yeah.
I'll find you.
Fun fact: Canada celebrates a totally different Thanksgiving. You might have
Can
believed
imagine.
Thanksgiving was purely American, but it's celebrated in Canada too. Instead of the last Thursday in November, however, it falls on the second Monday of every October. The first to be nationally declared was held in 1872 to celebrate the medical recovery of the Prince of Wales. The prince had been suffering from a fever which had filled the minds of all the loyal subjects with the deepest anxiety, according to the Perth Gazette and the West Australian Times. That's why our neighbors to the north give thanks.
Interesting. Interesting.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yes. Love it.
You know, those balloons just used to be let go after the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The first
That's
large-scale
not,
balloon used
safe.
in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was Felix the Cat in 1927. Because there were no plans yet for deflating the balloons, most were simply allowed to float away afterwards. Unfortunately, this strategy didn't prove very effective, as most popped shortly after being released or wreaked some havoc. As you can imagine.
I can imagine the ones now are like probably 3 times the size, if not more.
Yes,
It would
and I'm glad you brought
float
that
to the
up.
stratosphere.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up their size. Before 1997, there were no size regulations on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloons. In 1997, the Barney balloon was ripped along its abdomen due to strong winds, while the Pink Panther had to be stabbed by police in order to be stabilized. The worst event occurred meanwhile. The Cat in the Hat struck a lamppost at 72nd Street and then crumbled to the ground. In response to
no.
1997 calamities, organizers of the parade instituted size regulations that required all balloons to be no larger than 70 feet high, 78 feet long, and 40 feet wide.
So huge.
Yeah.
They still have to fit between the buildings too, but they're still like
And then the streets, too.
so
and
enormous.
What was your favorite balloon, Tyler?
Garfield.
Classic.
Yeah.
That is
It's a good call.
classic.
I think
good call.
everybody same Garfield.
I mean, it's a handful. I'm not a huge fan of the parade, to be honest.
You think you are, and you get excited, and you start watching
and then
it,
I'm
and you're
like,
I
I
don't
hate the
actually-
canned happy. I
Yeah.
hate the people that run it. I don't like singing and dancing, and that's all it is. Like, I like the balloons, and they'll be like maybe 3 minutes out of every hour that I'd be like, but no.
The only
Oh, I
parade
love
that
the
I
parade.
No, I don't mind if it's on in
Always
the background.
grew up watching
or
it.
while we're like,
But I do get because
you know,
Blake's like,
drinking
and I'm
before
over it in
football,
like,
like,
2
yeah.
seconds. Like, cool, getting out of here. Like,
and now I remember why I
I'm
hate the
gonna
parade.
do anything else right now.
We've been to the parade.
It was fun being there.
We've been to the parade in person.
To watch it and then be there is
Yeah.
like so cool.
And how many people would you say, watch the Thanksgiving Day parade? Even though some maybe against
Just
their will
millions.
or against their, just doing it
50
for 'cause it's
million.
fun.
Just millions.
About 50 million people
Wow,
watch the
on the
Macy's
nose.
Thanksgiving Day parade annually. Did you look that up or something, bro?
Oh.
You cheating over here, biscuits?
Man,
Nah, I'm just locked in.
Yeah, that was, man,
it's in the zone.
I'm impressed. He's reading it
He's
off my
amazing,
glasses,
isn't
isn't
he?
he? You can see it.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
Barely see your face over here. I'm 6 beers deep.
Approximately 50 million Americans tune into the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade each year. Another 3.5 million people view it in person, and roughly 10,000 people participate.
It's a
Actually-
big ordeal. Like it's totally cool.
big ordeal.
You can tell that it's hard to do and all that, but really the only parade that I ever got excited about my entire life, 1993 Phoenix Suns Western Conference Champions Parade. We lost the finals and partied. Chicago won and they rioted.
We're
Crazy.
still gonna party.
Crazy how that went down.
Poor Suns fans.
I know. Oh, for
Man.
forever.
One day.
Not even going to go there. The original TV dinner was the result of a Thanksgiving miscalculation. Would you like to know more?
Ooh,
Please
yeah.
tell us.
In 1953, an executive at Swanson miscalculated the company's upcoming Thanksgiving turkey sales, leaving the company with some 260 tons of frozen turkey. Fortunately for Swanson, Sammy,
Sippy.
Swanson.
Silly. Swinson?
Samsonite.
Simpson?
I was
Swanson.
way off.
Maybe it's on the briefcase.
Fortunately for Swanson, a salesman by the name of Jerry Thomas suggested packaging the excess product into trays, along with some traditional sides, and selling them to consumers as TV dinners. Thomas was apparently inspired by the
Genius.
pre-portioned trays
Yeah.
used to serve airplane food.
I was going to say, he probably saw some airline food and said,
Right?
why don't you just freeze that stuff?
We have a bunch of extra food.
The first one was turkey. That's cool. I have a question for both of you. do you prefer the leftovers of the Thanksgiving meal
Ooh.
to the meal itself?
Yes. I love like next day leftovers reheated.
I would say
like,
no, but
oh,
I
no,
would say no
like-
myself, just because like I don't always get all of the leftovers. I don't get a little bit of everything. It's always just like,
Yeah.
here's a bunch of turkey,
Gotta
here's some
focus
stuff
on
in
the
it.
I'm still
leftovers.
unbelievably salty over Thanksgiving before last when you guys left me like, a third, maybe a quarter of the pie that I wanted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the only piece of Thanksgiving food that I wanted. Left it right there on the edge of the counter, just easy enough for our dogs to get.
Oh, that
and
was like
rip
the
through.
saddest moment.
I'm still sour.
Like, Blake, your pie. And the dog's just like in heaven licking it away. And we're like, well,
I
bye.
was so pissed. I
We're
was
going to
so
take
pissed.
ours and go.
Like, yeah, I'm coming for your
Love
pie.
you.
by the way.
Coming over later.
Don't you look at our pie, Blake. We're getting out of here.
Well, back to the leftovers. Tyler, you and I are in the big time minority because more than 4/5 of Americans prefer the leftovers to the meal.
Definitely.
According to a 2015 Harris poll, a large majority of Americans, 81%, prefer the leftovers of the Thanksgiving meal to the meal itself. Another finding, millennials look forward to turkey portion of the meal less than any other age group. Technically,
I'm there for the
we
sides.
are millennials, and I don't care for
I'm all about
turkey at
the
all.
sides. I'm there for the sweet potatoes, the green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, sweet potato, big potatoes. However many potatoes you can do it.
All
I want it. I
potatoes.
want it all.
All the taters.
I mean,
We've been doing it right the last couple of years and just go honey baked turkey like from the store.
yeah,
Honey
just get
Baked
the
Ham
turkey
Company.
easy. Make some amazing sides.
Yeah.
Focus on the sides and the dessert. That's like the most important part.
Yeah, and pre-buy the
Everyone
turkey.
goes so
that-
hard on the turkey where it's like, I mean, everyone loves a good turkey, but at the same time, it's like,
anybody
focus on
can
the
do it.
sides.
Yeah,
Where like,
it's all about the
oh.
sides.
Yeah, I don't care for much of it, to be honest.
Blake's
Either
like,
way,
can we just have a barbecue and like call it a
Now
day?
you're talking.
Steaks, everybody.
That's a nice segue. Tyler, if I had to ask you what was the most narcissistic state in the country, what would you say?
Rhode Island?
I'd say it could, no, and you're full of it. I know you're joking. It's clearly Texas.
I was gonna say, I could probably say
No one
Texas
takes
on
more
this one.
pride in the state they're from than people in
Texas.
Texas. That's the point I'm making is there's not one but two towns in Texas that claim to be the site of the first Thanksgiving. And why wouldn't they?
Yeah, of
And
course.
why wouldn't they?
Okay.
While the first Thanksgiving is generally considered to be the aforementioned meal in 1621 in Plymouth, Massachusetts, there are
Right.
at least two towns in Texas claiming to have been the site of the earlier Thanksgiving
Like,
feast.
wrong. It was at our house.
El Paso, for one, claims it was the host of the Day of Giving Thanks celebrated by Spanish explorer Juan de Ornate in 1598.
Ooh.
The town
Interesting.
has been observing that Thanksgiving every April since 1989. Another claim made by the Texas Society of Daughters of the American Colonists asserts that the first Thanksgiving was observed by Spanish explorer Francisco Vasquez de Coronado in his expedition to Palo Duro Canyon in 1541.
It's like
1984,
Pretty recent, actually.
1863.
For the love of God.
Give me the answer. Researchers, however, have since uncovered details to suggest otherwise.
no shit.
No shit.
It's the world's greatest cup of coffee. Congratulations, everyone.
This is,
Just wild claims,
yeah.
huh?
Here's another wild claim. I just don't get it. Thanksgiving is America's second favorite holiday.
I don't believe that.
I mean, how does Halloween and Christmas not like dominate 1 and 2,
Blow
and then
it
there's
out of the
everything
water.
else? I don't get it. According to another Harris poll, this one from 2011, Thanksgiving is the second favorite holiday among American adults behind Christmas and ahead of Halloween for millennials, X-Geners, and baby boomers. I don't think so. I don't think so.
2? No.
Second favorite?
Got it like fifth on my
yeah.
list.
Super
Love
Bowl's
to give
third.
thanks.
The Masters.
Holiday.
The high holidays.
So
High
many.
holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
And with that said, let's take a break.
Enjoying something crunchy? Follow us on social media and tweet us your comments and questions at crunch_cast. We encourage you to participate and thank you for listening.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Let's keep it Thanksgiving. What do you think?
Yeah.
We're about to get into the good stuff.
Let's get into the meat and taters.
I at least got some trivia for you. We got through the fun facts, which I tried to make a little trivial. But now we have some actual Thanksgiving trivia.
Good.
Okay.
I'm still locked in, I think.
Yeah, you kicked ass
See
with
if I
that
can
one
throw
question.
'em
I
off
can't
here.
believe you got 50 million
This
viewers.
is going to be hard for me.
On the nose.
First question. Which is the only food confirmed to be at the first Thanksgiving? Bread, corn, deer, or turkey?
Corn.
Bread.
You're both wrong.
Oh, it was deer.
It was definitely the deer.
Historians have no record of turkey being eaten at the first Thanksgiving.
It was
It was
deer.
deer.
In fact, 5 deer carcasses make for the only food actually confirmed to be there. If there were going to be any birds there, they believed ducks, geese, and swans were going to be the only birds to have been served.
Should have known.
The deer.
God. Go with your gut, Tyler.
Should have gone deer.
Let's go back to the parade. What was used prior to the balloons in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Ooh.
What was
Prior to the balloons. Floats?
bubbles?
Those aren't the balloons, the floats.
No, just
oh, you
like-
mean like parade floats?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that was probably part of what Blair said bubbles. Tyler,
Blake's looking at me like I'm just like
she thinks I didn't hear her say bubbles.
I was at that point.
I did hear her say bubbles.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Hoping you didn't.
Bubble?
And Blair's correct with bubbles. No, of course
Oh, I
not.
was like,
That
real?
was terrible, Blair. Bubbles?
Everybody loves bubbles.
The answer is zoo animals. The first
Real ones?
Macy's Thanksgiving
Real
Day
animals?
parades had Central Park Zoo animals. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was originally called the Macy's Christmas Parade to kick off the holiday shopping season, according to AM New York. Held in 1924, the first parades featured circus mainstays including monkeys, bears, camels, and elephants, all borrowed from the Central Park Zoo, instead of the traditional character balloons.
I'm guessing things went awry one year, so
Yeah.
like we're gonna use balloons.
We better
From
bring
now on,
something
there
Right.
was a
in.
frenzy
So-
on the street.
We all agreed Garfield has been a classic.
I feel like
There's-
Snoopy.
there's a
and
handful
there's
of
been some,
balloons.
like,
Yeah,
Peanuts is always huge.
Yeah.
always solid. Well, it begs the question, which balloon character has made the most parade appearances?
I'm going to
Yeah,
say
I'm gonna
Snoopy.
go Snoopy.
Snoopy has made the most appearances in the
Yeah.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah.
44 years after the first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Snoopy made his debut in 1968 as a balloon. Throughout the years, the Beagle has had a total of 7 balloons, making 39 appearances on and off through 2015 before he was replaced with Charlie Brown in 2016.
Oh my god.
That's awesome. We knew it. Peanuts all the way.
True or false? It's tryptophan in the turkey that makes you tired after gorging at Thanksgiving.
True.
Sounds right. True.
False. The turkey's tryptophan doesn't actually make you tired.
No.
On Thanksgiving Day, you probably prepare yourself for mentally knowing you'll be tired after eating turkey, but the holiday bird isn't actually to blame. Instead, the reason you can't imagine doing anything else but watching football on the couch is because you overate. In fact, Dr. Daniel Barone tells Business Insider
You're
it's
just
actually
full.
called postprandial fatigue. Simply put, he says this means after you've had a big meal, your body goes into basically shutdown mode and sleep
Well,
gets
that's like
promoted.
the obvious.
Yeah, hibernation time.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, who
that's
brought up
funny.
the whole turkey thing?
There's like a,
Who brought it up? Oh, you
Where did
tell
this whole
me.
debate start?
there's a whole supplement industry out there for like tryptophan in pill form to make you sleepy. So it's all fake. It's a placebo.
Interesting.
Save your
Is
money.
it or isn't it?
True or false? Thanksgiving is the booziest day of the year.
False.
And what do you think is?
New Year's Eve.
Ooh, definitely agree.
You're agreeing. The answer is false.
Okay, halfway there.
The Wednesday before Thanksgiving is known as Drinksgiving.
Ooh.
and the booziest day of the year. The holiday season is a time of celebration, which means people are spending time with family and drinking their faces off.
St. Patrick's Day.
But before the annual feast begins, the
No.
night before Thanksgiving has come to be known as the booziest day of the year, Black Wednesday.
Should have known, working in the bars like that
I know,
Wednesday before
right?
Thanksgiving. I remember being slammed.
The night before the biggest family day,
Yeah.
like the guaranteed family day of the year, is known as
Peak
Black
anxiety.
Wednesday.
Oh my god, that's
The
so
booziest
funny.
day of the year. Of course.
It's the holidays and we're all in misery.
True or false? Thanksgiving is the day with the lowest porn viewing rates.
False.
I gotta say true.
Tyler's right.
Yeah,
It's true. The day of the year with the lowest porn viewing rates is, in fact, Thanksgiving.
It's just so hard
It's
to
the
go.
family day.
It's a
Kick it.
family day. That's hard.
You can't kick it with grandma and then go and torque down right afterwards.
I mean, I can, but Thanksgiving has nothing to do with that.
Oh my god. I
Interesting.
said false as if I was just trying to think of another one that was like would have been different. I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
Oh,
Easter, like, no.
no. Christmas?
Christmas?
That's a
People
that's
get
a,
freaky
that's a,
with
that's
Santa.
a healthy day.
It's the Lord's Day.
That's a healthy day to
He's watching.
crank one out.
He knows
Yes.
when you've been naughty or nice.
It's all about getting naughty.
That's
Everything.
Santa. I get those two confused sometimes.
The excitement of the holidays. Holy Spirit.
Gonna go jingle these bells over here.
More Americans travel to this city than anywhere else on Thanksgiving. Orlando, Boston, Chicago, or New York.
New York.
Orlando.
The parade.
More people travel to Orlando, Florida than
Boom.
anywhere else on
What,
Thanksgiving.
Disney World?
According to AAA, over 50 million Americans travel 50 miles or more for Thanksgiving. The most popular of these destinations, according to Booking Info, were Orlando, Florida, closely followed by New York City and then Anaheim, California.
Is it just Disney,
Disney.
World?
Yep, both of the Disneys, Anaheim and
I don't
Orlando.
know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Orlando's the hot spot.
Yeah. Which state raises the most turkeys in the U.S.? Wyoming, Minnesota, Texas, or New Hampshire?
I'm gonna go
Wyoming.
Minnesota.
Or the New
Wyoming.
Hampshire? Blair?
Wyoming?
I said Wyoming.
Wyoming?
You said North Dakota.
Alaska. Yeah, I'll say Minnesota.
Minnesota raises the most turkeys in the U.S.
Ooh.
Turkeys apparently prefer cold temperatures and friendly neighbors.
Glad I'm with my gut.
Yes. Of all the 50 states, Minnesota raises the most turkeys according to the USDA. In fact, the 450 turkey farms in the state are responsible for about 18% of all turkeys raised and sold in the U.S. yearly.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
for your turkey.
Good trivia.
Pretty good.
Even though Blair had a nice one in the end there, I still think Tyler held it down pretty
yeah,
strong.
I think Tyler might have
I
got
think
me on
Tyler
that
wins
one.
the Thanksgiving trivia. Well
Thank
done,
you.
Tyler.
Want
Thank
to admit
you.
defeat, but
Biscuits got the gravy. Nicely done. Well done, Tyler. All right. Well, that was nice and friendly.
Let's get serious.
That was pleasant.
Yeah.
Let's talk Black Friday.
Yeah, let's get serious here.
Ah.
Steals and deals.
This
hot
is what
mess.
some would say. This is what the holiday's all about. Not us. We're more Cyber Monday folk.
Yeah. Sitting at home,
I don't Black Friday.
doing the shopping
That's
from the
too
couch.
much.
Let's talk about why it's too much, Blair. I have, mostly from retail employees, Black Friday horror stories. Are you interested?
Oh, definitely. It's
Hit
got to
me.
be crazy.
Tyler, you like this first one.
I did some retail. I'm into it.
I worked at a GameStop. We were not taking trades that day because we only had 2 registers. A customer ignored the entire line and came straight up to my register and said he had more than 150 items to trade. And I apologized and told him to come back on Saturday. He proceeded to throw each item he brought with him at me one at a time in the
Oh
face
my
until I called the cops. Not only did he get arrested that day, he isn't allowed to step foot in another GameStop.
Oh, my
Lifetime
God.
ban for that. That's grounds
That's
for termination.
crazy.
Holy shit! You can't do that to people. I mean, you gotta
Just hitting
know.
him in the face
Can't
one
do
by
that.
one.
When you see the line, you gotta be like,
And then there's probably 50 people in there watching him, and he's just like single, like each at a time, chunking
Right?
him at it. It's like, sir, you're making us all so uncomfortable. Can you please stop hitting this poor kid in the face?
That one was in the eye.
Yeah, he's bleeding everywhere. Like, can you stop?
Here's a pleasant one. I witnessed a mom stick her finger down her throat and projectile vomit in the fitting room because she didn't get an extra discount.
Oh my god, just throwing a fit.
It's a classy move.
Oh man,
you
Yeah.
gotta
Can
do what you gotta do for that
Black
fucking
Friday.
discount.
I mean, Blair, I've seen Tyler do that once, twice, to be honest.
You know, that did kind of sound like Tyler once he was started saying something. You know?
I changed it to a mom, but really it was I witnessed a Tyler sticking your finger down.
You know, Tyler does get upset if he doesn't get what he wants.
It doesn't sound like me at all. I like to shit in
Couldn't
my
be-
hand and throw it.
That's not.
That's my
more-
babe.
That's my brand.
I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm saving that. A customer was having problems finding an associate to help them in the shoe department. So what did he do? Dropped his drawers in the middle of the shoe department and crapped all over the floor.
Whoa, there's my move.
Then another customer didn't see the mess and
Just
stepped
stole
in
my
it
move.
before it could be cleaned up.
Oh, gross.
Saw the whole thing go down.
That's ridiculous.
That is your move.
I mean, coined.
You do that shit around the house.
That's how people know that
Just
stuff's
to stir
mine.
things up. That is crazy. Like, why do people just lose it?
Why
when
would
it
you
comes-
think
Black
that's
Friday
okay to
makes
do?
people lose their
This brings
shit.
out the worst in people.
It brings out the worst of humanity.
This is why I'm
It
glad
brings
things
out
are
the worst of
online,
people.
because it's like, please don't do this to people. Like, this is crazy.
It gets worse. It just gets worse. A lady called 911 because we wouldn't price match with Best Buy. The police came and arrested her for misusing the emergency service.
Yeah, that's not what it's there for.
As they should. There was a
God.
lot of, called the authorities because of discounts and register issues and
Okay.
bull crap. There was a sale, $1 for towels or something. This guy jumped into a towel bin and literally growled at everyone who tried to get a towel. He claimed them all.
My God. Cleaned them all and growled at everybody.
He claimed them all and growled at anyone. Like, there's crazy shit that goes down.
Sounds like the kind of guy that can't afford every towel in a towel bin, though.
But, for towels. I worked for 6 years at a Johnny Rockets as a server and a manager. Although we were inside a mall, we didn't open early on Black Friday like the rest of the stores because we were a separate restaurant. Also, we don't serve breakfast, so it made no sense to open at 6 a.m. When I got there to open up, we had people shaking at our gates, screaming that they wanted food.
Oh my
I pointed
God.
them towards the food court and told them we didn't serve breakfast. A lady spat at me and yelled, "I know you have bacon."
Oh my God. See, people are insane.
Looney
sometimes.
Tunes, come on, people, get a grip.
See, to do this for one day and bring out the crazy, that's why Cyber Monday, it's like, I'll do this from home. I can't handle all
Why
that.
stay inside?
Because if somebody starts getting crazy with me, now you're causing me to get nuts, and it's like, now
Now I'm going to
Now-
get my crazy face
yeah,
out. You
and
don't
now
want to see my
look
crazy
what
face.
you've done to me. So funny.
When I was in college, I worked at a toy store, and it was the year of the Furbies.
Oh no, poor guy.
They
Don't
were
even.
really hard to get, and our location only got 10 of them. We were instructed to pass out numbers rather than the actual toys to the first 10 people in line. I was the lucky one to pass out the numbers.
Oh no.
I gave the first person their number when all of a sudden I'm on the floor and I've been trampled from behind. This woman had slammed into me, knocked me on the floor, and ripped the tickets out of my hand, actually breaking 2 fingers.
Oh my God.
The store refused to give her a Furby, and we detained her until the cops showed up.
Wow.
Broken fingers over Furbies.
Patience is key, people. But you know what? I do kind of get it. If Harper was like, "Mommy, I want this
But
Furby,"
you
there's
know
only
what?
one in the
I'm
store, and
saying
you're
the
just gonna have
ironic,
to
funny
be like,
thing is-
"Well, love you, but sorry about it."
Is that they probably went to a little girl like you who hated the Furby. Would
Exactly.
it would
Was
come alive in her
terrified of
closet.
it.
She'd take the batteries out of it, and it'd still come alive at night.
Just
Like,
would
that thing
keep
was-
talking.
Oh
and
man.
talking without it'd be battery pack out, everything out, or
Snipping
whatever.
wires, the thing's in pieces on the counter, and it's still,
Still going
Furby,
on.
still
blinking
a
at
Furby.
me, just like both eyed, just like one at a time, blinking and like making noises on the side. Just like get it out of the house, please.
A man showed up the Tuesday before Black Friday with a tent, ice coolers, generator, TV, and everything he needed to brave the 3 nights he would be staying in front of the store. He kept bragging about being the first in line. He said he was going to get a plasma TV and how he was hosting the next Super Bowl party, so this was just going to be the best thing ever. At 5 a.m., the doors opened and the man goes straight to the plasma TVs. They were all gone. Completely sold out. What happened? Turns out the garden center at Walmart opened up about 10 seconds before the front doors. Those that got a head start scooped up all 15 plasma TVs they had. This guy had been there since Tuesday afternoon and was dumbfounded. Argued with management, but they told him there's nothing that could be done.
They're already gone.
Sorry about you, dude.
Stayed here for 3 days.
Too much.
Like
you're due for heartbreak.
I worked at a Toys R Us some years ago. No standout bad customers, but it surprised me how many parents brought their young children to stores at 3 a.m. to stand in line and wait for the sales.
Right.
These kids would be in their pajamas, hair matted, they'd be falling asleep in line. The moms would get mad and would yell at their children for whining and crying. You won't get any toys. Christmas is next month. Your kid is exhausted, and you drag them into a toy store. Of course, they're going to be cranky and tired. Working there really changed my perspective on people. And I could look at this 2 ways. But my first instinct is like, that's awful. Why would you drag a kid to a toy store in the middle of the night? Like, that's awful. That's sad. You can see kids like being tired. Like that paints a sad scene. But what if that's a single parent? And that's the only way they could afford to get that kid Christmas parent, like Christmas presents that
in the middle of the night. So it's like, well, you're coming with me.
I'm doing my Christmas shopping.
Amazing
this is the
Christmas.
way I could do
this is how we have to do it.
So like, you could look at it one way, or you could look at it as another, as like a parent trying to make a Christmas for their kid.
As a kid, I would have loved to go to a toy store in the middle of the night.
So you don't? Yeah, I would have too.
Like, oh my god, we can go like camp out at the toy store. That's cool.
So easy to bash, but still, it's like there's a different perspective you can see. You know, you don't know the circumstance. You could give the same. You could give the same woman praise for making a Christmas for a kid. With,
and you want to just like this
never
is
know.
The one thing to make this kid happy, and you're just like, I just want to make you happy, baby. I will kill someone for this, Mickey Mouse. I'm gonna get it for you, baby. You know
that can make sense.
Your mama bear, your papa bear, your instincts come in. It's just like
I worked at a restaurant that is right across the street from the mall. I'm sitting in the back on Black Friday morning, waiting for my long ass shift to start. It was incredibly busy already, and I wasn't about to clock in early. I was chatting with one of the managers when I heard a hostess scream, "Help!" I immediately rushed to the entrance to see 2 grown men on the ground fighting.
Oh no.
One was wearing nothing but his underwear.
Oh god.
My shift lead tried to pull them off each other while screaming, "Stop, this is a family restaurant, there are children here." I jolted forward in an attempt to break up the fight. This is where it gets weird. Everyone is gathered around this small area watching or trying to help when someone grabbed a fire extinguisher and started spraying everyone with it. We have a bunch of people trying to break up a fight between a man in his underwear and some other dude, and someone spraying us with a fire extinguisher, all while we have some wholesome Christmas carols playing in the background.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Shopping and a show.
I mean, that would be like so entertaining. Part of me would be like, oh my god, no. But part of me would be like, oh my god, can I get some more chips? Because this is like amazing.
You get to find out what it was about. Finally, the fight got broken up. Cops show up. Turns out the fully dressed guy got the last TV from Best Buy, and the other dude got angry and followed him over to try and buy the TV from him.
Oh no!
The one dude who got the TV told him no, so the other guy took his pants off and they got into a fight.
I'm like, what? Oh, I'll show you. You take my pants off first thing.
It's always over a TV. Like, it's never over a coffee maker.
Yeah.
No. It could be. I bet there was craziness.
What's with the TVs? What has that got people just going?
It's all about the TVs.
Full bananas over.
Steals and deals got people going crazy.
They really do.
It's like, I'll only have this 32-inch for the rest of my life, but today this 62-inch is well within reach, and I will kill anybody that comes within my way in that 62. Like,
speaking of steals and deals, I once saw a team of children steal things from people's carts. When people weren't looking, they would grab any electronics they could find in the car and run it back to their mom. Like a team of children.
Can't get mad at a kid. That's genius.
But you could get mad at the mom, who obviously was like, go get that and bring it back. That's just... it's bad.
Use the kids.
Can't use the kids.
Can't use the kids.
It's dirty. It's Bush League. It's Bush.
In 2011, at a Porter Ranch Walmart in California, there were reports that LA Police Department were on the hunt for a woman who took Black Friday one step too far. It was said that in order to beat the crowd and get the best deals, an unknown woman used pepper spray to prevent other customers from shopping. Reports say that there were over 100 people waiting in line, pushing and shoving before they realized they were attacked with pepper spray. Customers coughed and itched, and the woman simply continued with what was dubbed as competitive shopping.
Oh my god.
Did she get charged for that? Like, that's got to be illegal. You can't
Yeah.
just blast the
I
crowd
know.
behind you.
Mace people.
Oh, I mean, what if she was like, it was like a mob-like situation? They were rioting.
Self-defense. Burn your eyes, people.
Just also
Nothing.
happened to be first in line after
It
that.
was horrible.
First in line. Okay, I'll take these things.
Oh
Thank you
no,
so much.
I think he's coming back to the window again. It began as any other Black Friday rush, but in 2008 at a Toys R Us in Palm Desert, California, something went terribly wrong. Two women began throwing verbal jabs and then actual jabs in the store's electronics department. Then two men that they were with began fighting and drew handguns. As other shoppers scrambled to safety, the men turned Toys R Us into a scene from the Old West. They chased each other down the store aisles, firing and trying to kill each other during the incident.
God,
Both men
what?
were shot, but no one else got hurt.
Oh my god, actually firing multiple in the store?
Craziness.
Come on.
People are crazy.
See, this is what happens when there's one day of like just crazy sales like that and just like everybody goes nuts.
And there's no talking any sense into him. It's not like you can pull him to the side and be like, look, dude, I'll give you the $300 that you're saving here. You just leave.
Some of the deals aren't even like
Everybody's
that
safe.
great. Some are good, but then most of the time, like you don't even get what you spent days for waiting. It's just, it's crazy. I just can't. Thank God again, Cyber Monday, but now Black Friday have started even like spreading out. They're like,
Yeah,
okay,
it
Black
starts,
Friday's
like-
starting actually.
There's some cool shit you can get
Starts
on Black
November
Friday.
1st now.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
forever.
let's talk about some cool shit.
Okay, so for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I feel like this year, I mean, there's like some of the obvious too, the TVs, smartphones, laptops, the
Always
MacBook
high.
Pro.
Yeah.
Apparently, this MacBook Pro, everybody is going for that. And I think a lot have already like sold out for like the pre Black Friday.
The pre.
The pre. It's like already sold out with the pre. Everybody's on that pre.
Favorite.
What else? Oh, there's like home speakers, like Bose systems. There's headphones, AirPods. Like apparently AirPods are
All the rage.
all
All
the rage right
the
now.
rage.
Super crunchy. Gift of the holidays. The Echo, Alexas, things like that.
The voice activated
Yes.
smart systems.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fire TV stick, things like that.
These are all going to be on like extra super discount.
So there's the biggest retailers right now. Well, there's like Amazon, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Nordstrom has a lot, Macy's, Wayfair, because there's like bedding and I mean a Dyson vacuum. I wouldn't even think the day would come where I'd be like, oh my god,
Getting excited for it.
oh man.
My baby.
Actually, no. I've always loved a great vacuum, but if I could get a Dyson on a good deal, Dyson on a
Right.
deal, that's amazing.
That's not a deal.
Apparently, TV subscriptions. There's
Okay.
different deals going on for that. Like
That makes sense.
Hulu's even doing.
Well, because
a big one.
everything you need a TV
There's just-
subscription for
I think
everything.
there's just subscriptions. Like overall, there's
There's
just
just too many subscriptions.
so many subscriptions. So there's going to be
Way too many subscriptions.
security systems, those Ring, like all those things like that. There's going to be
Right.
a lot
Oh,
of.
that makes sense.
The
Those are
doorbells,
dope.
the security
Oh,
cameras.
and Apple Watch and Fitbits.
Snapple Watch.
Those little those watches. There's a few of those.
Hot.
Samsung has some of
Hot.
those. Kitchen and appliances. You say those like coffee makers. There's like crock pots. Like I think people
There's
will
crazy
go,
good
go a
deals
little
on them.
crazy
Yeah.
on some of those.
TVs will always be the king of Black Friday.
Yeah.
I feel.
Overall, there's
There-
toys, but
there-
like
there's
TV is.
I
Pretty
saw
much.
a deal at Walmart. There's like a deal online. There's like a $1,300 65-inch 4K like smart TV that's like $299.
You told me it was 300 the other day, and
$299 is $300.
Oh, I thought you said 1,300. You just said 1,300.
That was the original price.
Oh,
it's
and
on
it's marked down
the Black
from $13.
Friday price.
Is $300.
Is $299.
Well, sign me up.
Like,
Let's get in line right
I
now.
feel like we
Tyler's like, I'm ready to punch somebody in the face for
yeah.
that. Well, let's go stand in line for 3 days and let's do this.
I'll get
Now
the
we just
pepper
turned
spray.
everything
I
around.
believe it's an online sale. If I remember seeing that and being
So
like, oh
what?
yeah.
It's like who can like click faster to like get it at the right
Well,
time. Like,
well, now I get it. I would stab somebody over
We're gonna be up all night.
$1,000 savings.
Tyler's gonna kill somebody for a $300 TV. Now.
like that like somebody probably would. They would be like, I need that TV.
I totally get it now.
Like my whole
I mean, that's a good deal.
everything depends on that TV.
There's also great deal on DNA tests.
It's a wild ride.
I got a couple things that you're not going to get deals for in your mailbox or your email box.
Hit me, brother.
Oh, what do you have?
A couple of Black Friday deals for some sex toys out there.
That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Tell me about it.
For the ladies. This is all on Lilo.com. They got sales up to 70% off on some products for Black Friday. They all got crazy names, and I can't even pronounce most of them, but this one looked pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It's the Soriaria? It's a futuristic space dildo, basically.
Ooh, space dildo.
Space dildo.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's not from this planet, but it'll get you off 3 ways from Sunday, apparently, for only $175.
Yeah.
Marked down from $219, or you can put this sucker on payment plan.
What, you working for these
Always
guys, brother? We have a
Guess
sponsor we don't know about?
Just
What
wanna
does a
give you
space
all
dildo
the
do that any normal one doesn't?
It just looks like it's from, Mars. It looks like something NASA would have made to go
Ooh,
inside you.
okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
For the fellas, I got the F1S prototype. It's an app-based sonic wave masturbator robot sleeve.
Got one.
Already have it.
It basically just looks like a futuristic trash can, but you stick your dick in it.
It's like
Some
it's
nostalgic
like the new age fleshlight.
Yeah,
Fleshlight?
The fleshlight.
the flashlight. You don't know
You
that?
say this as if it's like, oh my god.
Everybody knows about the fleshlight.
I had a flashlight.
It was
What's
like a cultural.
What's a fleshlight?
What movie made the fleshlight? Was it Knocked Up? It was like one of those.
Probably. I
It
don't
was
know.
like one of those.
It basically looked like an
40-year-old
oversized
version. 40-year-old version.
flashlight, but the inside was like a soft, gooey center that you can fuck. That's a nuts and bolts.
That's gross. That's gross.
You know. This next one's for him and her, really. It's the future of condoms.
Oh.
I love the names. This is the Hex Respect XL. And basically,
Respect.
this condom,
the XL.
you gotta respect. The XL, of course, is for the extra large gentleman.
Right.
Figured so.
It's a little bit bigger than the standard
that makes sense.
respect.
Right.
A little bit more respect.
A little bit more respect. just like
Oh,
a little bit more respect.
respect the XL. Is that what it's like? Respect the league. Respect the
The
league.
difference between ordinary and extraordinary.
Is
It's that little extra.
a little extra.
So this condom fucking looks like athletic apparel. Like it looks like
It's Under Armour for your day.
it looks like yoga pants. It's crazy.
Lululemon condom for your day.
If you zoomed in, if you got in there real tight, it has little hexagons that stretch. They get bigger. They get smaller. It comes lubed. They're on sale. The
Pre-lubed.
36 pack are on sale at Lilo.com.
Oh, that's good.
That is
Nicely done,
awesome.
Tyler.
Thank you so much for that
Yeah,
enlightenment.
That's good. You know, we did a lot of research for this, and there was a lot that it was about things to watch. It's all about,
Sure.
what movies there were and the best movies for Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah.
One of them just it straight pissed me off. So you know what that means.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's fist the list.
Yes, it's
Five
been a
fingers
while.
deep in this list.
Yes. Let's first talk about the list.
Okay, so
And,
this is best Thanksgiving movies.
I'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
This is what DandelionChandelier.com says. What are the best movies set around Thanksgiving? The first one on here was the only obvious one. This was, it should be on everyone's list. We get it. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Like,
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It's great. It's an all-time classic.
That's
Yeah.
good. Okay. Like, that should be on a list. Okay. I was like, all right. That's obvious, but let's see where we go from here.
I miss John Candy.
The Big Chill. There's one Thanksgiving scene in this movie. It's
a
not a
scene.
Thanksgiving movie. There's
No.
one scene, and the scene was even cut before they actually released it and then brought it back. It's in like two different versions where there's not even the scene. It's
That
it's
doesn't even
ridiculous.
count.
No. Then there's Holidaysburg, Sweet November, arguable.
Pretty good. Yeah,
Arguable.
not bad.
Yeah.
Krishna, Avalon, The Ice Storm,
Huh?
You've Got Mail,
Is that Thanksgiving? Yeah.
The Oath, and then Miracle
Oath?
on 34th Street, which is like
What?
it starts on Thanksgiving, but that's a Christmas movie.
That's
it's
like a
it's
classic
notorious
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about fucking Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Fuck.
They
I
play
wouldn't
it
say that's like the best
It's not a
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving
movie.
movie.
Christmas. They play it on Christmas every year. They
Yeah,
don't play it on
that's like a
Thanksgiving, do
Christmas
they?
movie.
They
Some
played
of
The Wizard of Oz.
Some of these
on
movies just had like a
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving scene at one point. They were not Thanksgiving movies. I'm upset. First of all,
We need to fix this list.
we need to fix this list. And any list that doesn't have son-in-law, it just
Oh,
Doesn't
that's like
even
why they
belong.
come home. The
In the
movie was
actual
based
fuck.
around coming back for Thanksgiving.
son-in-law is like the
Come
ultimate
over here,
Thanksgiving
munch on
movie.
some grinders.
Right?
I mean,
Crap. Crotch. Yeah, you didn't bone?
crow.
We didn't bone.
we didn't know. Don't
Steven Tyler
call
PJs.
me Walter.
Theo.
Like that was. Now that's a Thanksgiving
That's
movie.
a Thanksgiving
But
movie.
really, for our generation, it's more shows than movies. When I think of like Thanksgiving stuff to watch, I'm going to recommend shows. Like the first ones I think of are Friends,
Friends.
And then even like Modern Family,
Sure.
the Slapsgiving episode of How I Met Your Mother,
Yep.
like
Classic.
yeah, like I think more shows.
Oh,
Like Blair,
real fast.
Our Friends episodes, we love.
Oh my
some of
gosh.
those Friends Thanksgiving
Yeah, I
episodes.
was going to
Those
say,
are some of our
speaking
best
of
ones.
Friends, that Thanksgiving episode has always been a personal favorite of ours.
Right.
And also on the note of Friends, so there is apparently a reunion special in the works at HBO Max.
Oh, nice.
So there was an exclusive the Hollywood Reporter had,
Topless.
which... Yes. How did you know?
HBO, like topless. Come on. Are we gonna see some Friends like getting dirty?
It'd be
Well-
nice to see him just cuss. And
Yeah.
not
I
be
I mean, we don't know
so-
exactly what this is, too, because sources told Hollywood Reporter that a deal is far from done, but the full cast and creators would participate.
That's so exciting.
They're just
Yeah,
trying to, I
that's
think,
super
figure out
cool.
like
Just
timing,
the fa-
schedules, like all
There's
the things.
always
But,
been
but it's
rumors.
like it's now happening.
I
And
like the
HBO
HBO
Max.
factor.
I'm
So
way more
HBO
excited
Max
that
is
it's on
coming
HBO.
in 2020. It's a new streaming service. And I think that Friends would even be like a jump start too for this new streaming service. They may try and like
For
do
sure.
that timing together.
Right?
So how amazing would that be?
I love that.
That's a Warner Media Entertainment
Oh,
deal
Blair.
too. So all of it would
Breaking
be-
news.
Extra
Yeah.
crunchy.
Like, wow.
Well,
Very
we mentioned Friends and the
very
Thanksgiving, so just like
good news break.
yeah.
Yeah, so like what movies would do we need to put in here? Like if we're gonna fist her list properly, we need to have like our own top 10. Son-in-law's obviously in there, and we'll throw but two of those
Grumpy
shows
Old
in.
Men,
Thank
Good
you.
call.
Yep.
Good call. Good call.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Dutch. I feel like we've talked about
Just
that
watching
even
Dutch.
It's been on
before.
TV recently.
Just was. I
Yes.
mean,
Fantastic.
Dutch.
Ed O'Neill is
But that's
awesome.
a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to get there for Thanksgiving. Like it's like Son-in-Law. Like
Yeah.
it's a Thanksgiving
Right,
movie.
right. Home for the Holidays.
Classic. Now that's one that like starts off the holiday season right. Like that's a good one.
We
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Dylan McDermott. That is an awesome movie.
a good one.
It's a good one.
I got to throw in The Wizard of Oz. I've already said it, but it's like it's
That's like
always
every
on.
holiday.
It starts on
It is.
Thanksgiving. TBS plays it back to back to back. I watch it every year on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I love The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Still.
But that one's always
Never
going to
seen
be
the whole
on.
thing through.
This is stuff to like stream and stuff that's still going to be available. This is going to be on TV for sure.
Funny
It sure is the
People?
parade. Funny People. That one had to be
That
on the
was
list.
hilarious.
A new one
Had
that
to be
needs
on
to
the
be
list.
mentioned.
Had ups and downs. It had some dark moments, but
Well,
it,
for the
like,
Thanksgiving.
There's a lot. There's,
well, like
you
when
know,
they get together for
there's some solid
was-
Thanksgiving. That was great. That was a really funny
Adam's
scene.
family values.
Yeah.
I mentioned there was like the Thanksgiving.
Not as good as the first, but still a
It's
very
not
But
good
near as good as the
Thanksgiving
first movie, but that was definitely a Thanksgiving movie.
It's a Thanksgiving movie.
100%.
Christopher Lloyd, just anything he's in, I'm just a big fan of. Guy's
Pieces of April.
There you go. A rare gem. Katie Holmes. That's a good flick. That's like that one's really good. That's like one of her lesser known movies.
I need to brush up on that one.
Yeah, I can float you that on.
We
Find you
fisted
some
that
pieces
list,
of
I
April.
feel.
Can I borrow it?
Fisted that list. That was good. Well, this has been the Thanksgiving episode of Something Crunchy.
Happy
you for
Thanksgiving,
listening.
everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget to live your crunchiest life.
Be crunchy to one another.
Please don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and all that crunchy good shit. Thank you for listening.
This upset me greatly.
I hate her already.